How are we going, people? It's the first day of the social identity experience. I am fucking cold. We're supposed to be bringing Bali to Melbourne. If I've got a booger in my nose, Ryan, you better hook me up, alright? Because I'm absolutely freezing. Well, we've got about 15 to 20 people in there. We've got people from when I've grown up, we've got strangers, and we've got, obviously my boy that's been there from the start. Maddie's absolutely rocking it. We're going to get in there, we're going to rock the place up. It's about creating the correct identity for you to step into your power. I'll be honest with you guys, it's something that is a lot, yeah? Ryan's saying I'm too dark. You're racist, mate.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it is quite dark in there. One of the things is, this is going to be I'll say it's a big step up, because obviously, leaving Melbourne for certain reasons, coming back here and being a part of what I'm doing now, and then, obviously creating more lives and giving people an understanding from where I started. And when we were doing the Bali retreats, people were getting the end of, okay, cool, now you've evolved to Bali. Coming back to Melbourne, don't get me wrong, it is going to be a bit challenging. There's a lot of anchors, there's a lot of memories, but it's really good to face your fears front on and really be able to simulate where you've been in your life and be able to, be a facilitator of change, be a agent of change as well, pretty much. So I'm absolutely freezing. Maddie's like, let's rock out the Bali, the Bali uniform. So I'm going to be putting the jumper on when you guys, when we basically stop this live stream. So what I want to let you guys know about, obviously, the people that aren't here, the way we're going to be facilitating this is, so it's going to be over 2 days. Today's all about getting people uncomfortable. As I always say, when you're panning for gold, all the gold goes to the top and the shit goes to the bottom. Another thing is, it's the remembering. So a lot of people forget, since their time of when they're basically, say, born, and through their existence, they forget about how able they are, how beautiful they are, how amazing they are as human beings, because through conditioning, through the outside influences, a lot of people lose their way. So through the journey of what we're going to be teaching today is really getting, firstly, people to connect with themselves and understanding, stop with the lie that they aren't good enough, or they aren't pretty, or they aren't, wealthy, or whatever these stupid excuses and the lie that we tell ourselves and tell each other about. So we're going to be rocking it up first, really getting people to connect with one another. It's so funny out there. I was looking at the live stream, everyone was just, all over the place, instead of people sitting next to each other. And unfortunately, that's quite sad, because, it's society, yeah. When you walk past, somebody, everyone's got their head down and it's actually awkward, but I'm like, hold on a minute, that's another human being. Instead of saying hello, I've seen other circumstances, I've seen other societies as well, when people are basically, they say, hey, how you going? Like, I would say hello to someone in Melbourne and they go, geez, where's my wallet? And that's quite disappointing. So how we're going to do this today, we're really going to get people uncomfortable. Some people are still strangers to me. We're really going to get the energy up high. And like I always say, we're going to shake them up. And through society, through people's conditioning, they have a plaque. They create plaque. Let me say that, not a plaque. That's proper English. Is that they create plaque around their brain. They create plaque around their being, and they forget really why they're here. Yeah, they walk around. They look at the ground, and that's what basically they see. Instead of them looking at the big picture, why are they doing what they're doing? How are they going to get there? And more importantly, having a bit of fun, having a bit of, enjoying what they're doing in life, and understanding that life doesn't need to be mundane. You do not need to be in the rat race. It doesn't need to be, Groundhog Day every day. And yeah, look, it's just really, it disappoints me, because there are so many people that are functioning way below their potential as well. There's a lot of people that I know that, I've got people that I've grown up with here, from since we've been little boys.
Boys are.
True. And Ryan behind the camera as well, like, we've gone through the journey. Just came obviously to the Bali retreat in May. Now we're rocking it out here, and we always said about we're going to be bringing workshops to Melbourne, and we did. And like I'm saying, it is challenging. So what we're going to do in a moment, after I shut up and stop talking, that Ryan's going to follow me in. We're going to do a bit of a, just shake it up a bit, get everyone rocking and rolling in there, get the energy up, get people jumping around. Just get really people uncomfortable where they're at, and it's just, at the end of the day, I always say, keep your standards high so you can fly. Another thing as well, that, if you're not having fun, and this is a big thing that I'm still learning, if you're not having fun, then if I always say, if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. And it really comes down to perspective of with people as well, that a lot of people get caught in their head. They haven't been taught to connect it with their heart. And what happens with that is, in your head, there's scatter, there's limiting beliefs, there's so much of this static. And you can see that people are detached because they're stuck in their head. They miss the magic of another human being. They miss the magic of themselves. They miss the magic of life. And then because of the conditioning and the way they see the world for their structure of reality and their model of the world, it's really not a cool simulation. And what that means is that people are seeing, what they're doing and how they're functioning and whatnot and so on, is that since they're born, unfortunately, what they don't know, and what their mothers, what their fathers, what their relatives, what the society has conditioned people to believe, it's not a really good path. And that's why people have so-called depression. They focus on the negative, they focus on what's dark, they focus on the past. And look, like just 2 seconds ago, I can't change that, can I? So why would I worry about that? They forget about being in the now. And then what happens is they build up anxiety, because the anxiety is in the future. Oh my God, I've got this to do. And like, hold on a minute. Like, okay, let's plan for now. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. We don't really have too much of a control of what's happening in the future, do we? We know where we're at now, and we lose ourselves because we're stuck in the past, and then we want to go to the future. And in now, people, that's where it's like a ghost. People are hollow because they're worrying about, this happened and this person and rah, rah, rah. And then they go to the future, and then the future's like, I have to do this. I'm going to be successful. I'm on the right path. And then they've got a partner, or they're supposed to be in the now. And what happens is people are pulled in this tug of war, and their energy is 40% there, 40% there, and they've got 20% here. And and that's how people are functioning, unfortunately. And I know that because of my own experience. Some people go, oh, but Lee, how do you know? And what do you do? Blah blah blah. It's different for you. But I like to teach from my own life experience, and and being a shit of a student of a student of life, and fucking up my life many times. It's it's really been, it's emotional, because I'm glad that I'm still here. Some decisions that I've made have been really not cool, and they have been they've caused a lot of pain. But again, see, like, that's the past, but you learn from that. And I always say, and this is a big thing that set me free now, it's a big lesson that always focusing on, someone's kicking the doors in, must be Matty. A lot of this stuff is really coming into perspective. That, who we got? Is that Matty G rocking in or what? Oh, there he is. So, these are the things that we really want to be mindful about as well. That understanding, doesn't matter what happens in life, if there is if there's a death, or someone leaves you, or you lose your job, everything is a lesson. And that's the thing, we've been conditioned to take out the most of the pain. There he is, all good. There's the man himself, ready to rock and roll. How's the crew out there, mate? They're ready? Yeah? Awesome stuff. All right, I'm going to get some smells on me. You always have to smell good. All right, guys, that's a big part of the transformation. Because if you don't, it's all about keeping your character.
I just wear a jacket and I look good.
There you go. But not being racist, but he's black. He's got the upper hand already. The upper hand, or the there you go, the mumba.
Just in the interview process now, and we're ready. Just doing the interview on the video. So
okay,
we'll close
cool.
at the end, and then
Awesome. Then you just let us know and we'll rock it out. So we're going to jump no, we'll still keep this on, because we'll follow us in there, because this is what live's going on about. And we're going to go in there. So what we'll do, obviously this is live, and we want to be behind the scenes stuff of what we're doing as well, guys. It doesn't need to be polished, doesn't need to be, we like to be idiots, we like to joke around. So we're going to jump in, we're going to do jump around, get everyone going, give high fives. And so Ryan will keep that on all the way through, and I'll just let you know as well when we're going to turn it off, and we'll get it all rocking and rolling. Just give everyone a bit of an introduction. So if you go there, it's funny, everyone's actually scattered all over the place. There's like, how many people? There's like 15, 20 people. Yeah. But we'll get it uncomfortable straight away. I'm going to get people to go and talk to strangers. Do whatever. I'm going to get people to share, and it's going to be good. Yeah. We're going to be doing that as well. So one of the things that we did, and as you would have seen last night, that I like to. Yeah, it's about state, you know. Yeah. I love to demonstrate, like I wasn't in state, and that was great because people think, fuck, you know, he can break the boards, but if you actually see the boards there, you need to get into state. You can't brutally force them, you know. And I went bang, I wasn't in state, bang again, and then it was like, okay, it was great. Everyone's like, oh, you know, I haven't seen you break that, but it's not, and that's where it comes to ego as well. That with the boards and you know, understanding that they're probably going, Lee's a big guy, he's just going to break through that, but it's a lesson. You know, it's not me to make myself look good. It's a lesson that I want to teach people. You know, and yeah. So the boards, the way we're going to simulate that, it's not the boards, it's limiting beliefs. Yeah. And it's the triple S to success. And what that means is, you know, and you can either go both ways. You need the right strategy to tell yourself the right story to have the right state, or you can even do the flip side. You need to be in the right state to tell yourself the right story, and then you have the right strategy. I like that. You need to be in, you know, get yourself into state, you know, get yourself going, feel the energy, feel that. Because if you're sitting there falling asleep, then, you know, all the magic's just going to blow by, yeah? And, fuck, you have to tell me, Ron, if I've got I was just saying that I've got a runny nose. Oh. So this is my tissue. Can you see? It's cold and my nose is running. So how's everyone going? Who we got on today anyway?
Steve Marquette. Yep. We have Eleni's always on.
Hey, Eleni, Steve.
Selena.
Yes.
We've got Cameron BF4.
I'm not too sure.
She's a girl.
Okay.
We have.
Hello, everybody.
Belinda was there.
Awesome.
Ethan, Mardina.
Yeah.
Fida.
Hey, Fida, my sister.
Fida. Rigo, my mate Rigo.
Hey.
Rigo. Carla Louise.
Hey Rigo, if you're listening, bro, you're more than welcome to come by. You know, later today, if you're in Melbourne, or come by tomorrow. We're going to be rocking this out. It'll be a real big win for you.
Beautiful. Jenna.
Oh, Jenna Watson.
Yep.
Yeah. I said to her as well. Spoke to her. She's
Anna Ma Elisa.
Oh, yep.
And Maddie automatically joins in, and Hillary what?
Geez, we've got a whole lineup. So wherever you guys are at, hello, and you're gonna see me be a banana. Now, you know, like if you're not having fun, then you're doing something wrong. So thanks guys for tuning in. You know, it's quite early, or early for some people, and that. So there's a big thing of why. Firstly, what we do, and I like to teach people about why is it called the identity. The social identity experience, because people want a goal or they want something, but the problem is that they're in the wrong identity, not in the right state, they're not in the right energy, the right thought patterns, the right attitude, the character. And what happens with that is it's resistance, because you're wanting something, and if you're not in the right identity, you're having tug of war, yeah, you're having an internal battle. And let's be honest, you know, and you know, you guys can put your hand up as well. Do we feel like we're all having a bit of an internal battle, you know, and that's fine, because life is a journey. But if you know there's a better way, if you know that there's a process to follow, if you know that you know, like me and Ryan, we always talk about it. It's like you've got that line, you've got that beast inside that always wants to go, hey, I can do better. I know I can do more. I can keep going. And if you don't listen to that, you're doing yourself a disjustice. But if you go with that, if you go and understand, hey, you know, life's too short, I'm going to absolutely start smashing it, I'm going to rock it. What are they doing? Hold on, let me have a look. Come with us, guys. Let's see if we're going to start.
Stealth mode, people.
Oh no, we've still got the interview.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the end of this big head.
Yeah.
That's the end though. That's the end, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the end of video.
Cool. So
towards the end anyway.
What we're going to be teaching with people as well, because obviously, you know, through the retreats, and it is a different simulation. Like in Bali, you know, one of the most manifestational places in the world. It's warm. You don't have a runny nose. You don't have boogers coming out your nose as well. You know, yes, we're in 4 walls. We're in a hotel, but more importantly, guys, it's you know, you could be putting yourself in a shoebox, yeah. Put yourself in a shoebox, and you can be rocking. You can be rocking it. It doesn't matter where you are. It's an excuse. You know, Bali's great. We have waterfalls. We have 60-foot waterfalls, active volcanoes, blessed waterfalls as well, holy waterfalls, high priestess. We have ghosts. We have goblins. We have aliens. We have Black Mamba. We have Mr. Bundy. So you've got a whole smorgasbord of shit that's going to help you transform. You know, we've got it here in Melbourne, and we're going to simulate it, like I said. Matty's going to be getting people up. We're going to be rock and rolling. The only thing we can't do fireworks. Normally in Bali you can get fireworks, you can get anything, you can get dungeons, you can get dragons. But you know, in Melbourne we're gonna rock it out as best as we can. So the social identity experience is understanding and teaching people to be in the right identity, the right state, basically everything that they need to be in to understand. So I'll give you an example. You can't be someone who wants to be fit, who wants to have a good body if you've got the identity of procrastination, of self-love, and
right.
you know, eating for emotion, as Ryan knows, he's champion trainer. And you know, you can't be someone that wants to have wealth, wants to have abundance, if you've got the identity of scarcity, laziness, no self-love, self-worth. And then you wonder, why can't I be wealthy? Why can't I be, you know, abundant? But I'm sitting on the couch and just twiddling my thumbs. Do you see where you're getting at? There's a resistance there. So, you know, that's about, you need to be stepping into that identity every day, stepping into that power. I think that's the end of the video, isn't it?
You want me to keep
the video, so Matty's going to get them up, rocking and rolling, and cool. Then we're going to.
Am I walking behind you, or should I sit in there?
Yeah, no, walk behind me.
Oh,
okay. Cool, yeah. We'll walk behind me, then
yeah.
I'll go through the middle.
Yeah.
I'll be giving everyone a few slaps.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'll be rocking it out. So just letting everyone know as well, obviously we're rocking this out. We've got our next retreat in Bali from the 7th to the 12th, which is going to be fantastic. We're going to be changing that around a little bit because I've got people spilling over to the next one, which is in August, November. So that the one in November, we're thinking about putting the August one out a little bit. We're just going to really see with numbers and, you know, obviously people as well, because we need to make sure that we're getting the right, as you know, Ryan, make sure we've got the right people.
Right people, right connection, right action.
Yep, and that's it. You know, it's a big simulation of how, you know, who we've got and so on and so forth. So there is Matty, he's getting everyone rocking. What we might do, we might start going towards the.
Behind the scenes, people, this is what I do.
Cool. So what we do here, let's jump around. We get everyone going on. We jump around like idiots. So we'll get them. We'll do a bit of crisscross.
So I'm not going to do that because I look like a totem pole. Okay.
Ryan's really got it. Like, you know, the guys, you know, they say white man can't jump. Some white men can jump. I can jump. So it's different. I can't dance, but I can jump. All right. So here we are. We're going to get everyone getting a little bit uncomfortable. How's everyone feeling today anyway? I'm doing on a Saturday. You know, some people in America it's Friday. Wherever you are around the world. Delaney's in Greece.
Laney said, Zadie just joined. That's good.
Zadie, how are you? It would have been great to have you here.
Lenny says stuff like again, Tiger, you rock, and God bless you, brother. Steve Marquette.
My Maltese brother, yes.
Yeah, morning, my brother. You speak the truth with love. A big love heart.
Much love. If I say Kif and Tihi, he understands it. It's a Maltese Terrier.
Says have an empowered weekend team.
I'm gonna rock it all. Stay in this, come and join us. He's gonna get the music pumping, we're gonna rock it out. You know,
it is funny how they're all just sitting, I don't know you.
True.
Because that's why Bali's so different, because you're forced to sit next to someone where you don't understand their energy, you don't understand their story, you're not sure about them. You could be learning content from the greatest person I've ever met in my life. Besides you're not a female, you're a male.
Yep.
Greatest male I've ever met. And then all of a sudden I got someone doing burpees in the background of my head. Stop doing the burpee, mate.
Here they go, look at it. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's go.
You going?
Oh, it's so cold.
Oh, this is the funky song, isn't it?
Yeah. Ladies, let your body flow. Everyone's like stiff, they're like.
It's so funny. Oh, I love it. I can't believe it, but this really makes it uncomfortable.
What?
Oh, no, I'm going to switch around to me quickly. So this dance thing made me so uncomfortable, but you got to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. and you will watch the transformation. It is incredible. Bringing people together that they don't know who you are, they don't know the story. Let's go.
We're going to do this again, yeah? You know we have to do it. If people are not going to play full out, there's a door that way and there's a car park that way. So we're going to play full out because change happens when we get uncomfortable, yeah? So I'm going to be all nice when we get, I want to see people getting all uncomfortable. If you want to take your clothes off, jump around, you can. But look at everyone, does people smell or something? What's happening? So we're going to do this again, yeah? I'm going to come back in, we're going to jump around, we're going to get uncomfortable because change happens when? In your comfort zone or out? True? So if we can stay in our comfort zone, or do we want to get out of it? Yeah? Cool. So I'm going to go back in there, and we're going to do this again, and you jump around big fella. Okay. So don't make me do this 3 times.
I thought that was a lie, that boy.
Let's go.
Look at it big there, mate.
It's your fault. To my craziness, and you know, if we get uncomfortable now and we make ourselves feel, because that whole thing about this, it's like a negative ego. I'm not into this, the rest of it. That stops us from growing. Yeah, that gives us a lie. It gives us plaque, and you know, I was pretty good at that for 30 years. You know, I put this big buffhead mentality on that I'm not going to jump around. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to live the life I want. I'm going to wear a vest and I'm going to ride motorbikes and I'm going to be a big bully and do that. And where do you think that got me? Do you reckon that got me pretty far? Or do you reckon I'd be able to stand in front of men and ladies and share my story and help out and travel around the world and help? Do you reckon I would have been there, or I probably would have been in a box? What do you reckon? Box? True. Yeah. Very. So I want everyone. Firstly, I want people to sit. Let's bring everyone up. I want everyone to get nice and close. Firstly, and then I'm going to say hello to everyone. So everyone sit next to people. So no, like if you all want to come to the front, please. Because one thing I've found, but not in my environment, is that humans are detached from other humans. They feel uncomfortable. So we're all humans, aren't we? There's probably a few aliens, a few reptilians, so we're going to make sure we sit. So at the front, everyone, we'll move up here. So good to see you all. Let's give it back to Maddie. What an awesome job that he always does. Maddie hasn't had any training. Obviously, he told his story when we met in October. He left out towels in a spa bath, half naked, talking to him on the phone. And that's the only reason why he went to the retreat, because of that. But he likes to leave that out. But I'd like to, it's great to see everybody. Some people are strangers. They were, but we're not strangers now. Everyone, and some people that me and Brad, we've grown up since, I don't know how old. That's how many in July, for how many years? Since we're 5 years. Yeah. So it's it's great to see. Some people I haven't met yet, but we all get to know each other quite. I'm going to say intimately. It doesn't sound like it. So right. And we said that we're going to bring Bali to Melbourne, and it's a little bit of light because I'm absolutely freezing here. I want to put a jacket on, and if I get a bit of a runny nose, and make sure I'll borrow your tissue, Mary. Is that right? So why did we come here? Why did we come here? Why we gathered on a Saturday? We could be sleeping in. Why? Grow? Yeah. What do we want to grow? What do we want to change?
Grow overall. Out of our comfort zones. Get past anything that's holding us back.
Yep.
Breaking resistance and beliefs.
Question for everyone: do you think what's holding you back is real, or it's a lie you tell yourself?
No.
Everyone, put your hand up if you agree. It's a lie. Yeah. Then put your hands up high. That's it.
I think it's both. If you believe it, then it's real for you.
Yeah.
So if you're telling yourself something that is a lie that everyone else doesn't see, then you're living that in your reality.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for growth no matter what.
Yeah. Because that's the truth. But we know that really, why would we want to always better ourselves if we didn't believe that we can do it? You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't want to be improving. You wouldn't be working on yourself. You just stay in bed all day, which some of us have been. I've been there myself. That I'll just lock myself away. I'll tell you about my story. It's not about me, but I'll give you guys an understanding from where I've been. But it's true. Matt was talking about his story with he wanted to get rid of his kids. Jabola, if she wants to tell her story, I know Chad wants to tell his story a little bit later. Whoever wants to let people know about where they've been. One thing I always want to say is I want this to be very informal. Is that okay? Yep. I want everyone just to chill out. If you need to scream, burp, cry, but obviously in the respect of there are ladies and of course men, we respect the men, but I want everyone to feel as comfortable within themselves and respected but uncomfortable for growth. Is that okay? Yeah. I know some people have done some sort of work, they say, self-development, whatever that word means. But what I want here, I just want us to all basically be vulnerable, let our guards down. Be very open as well. If you don't understand something and if something doesn't fit well, take me aside, take someone aside and say, hey, look, this is not sitting well. I don't understand what's going on. Can you explain that? Because we don't want any grey areas, because grey areas lead you nowhere, yeah? What I would say is, well, everyone understand what playing flat means? Sort of? No? Do you know? Does everyone know what it means, yeah? So the more you get uncomfortable, the more you get up and if you don't normally speak, I used to have a real big problem with public speaking.
Why don't look at me?
Do you want to talk?
No.
Come on, you don't have a problem speaking, do you? No? Up here? Alright. So, and that's great, it's honest. And what I say is, let's really talk about this, because they would have said to you, there's a structure, but I don't follow the structure. Did they say that? What are you life for? I didn't follow the structure. I didn't even know we had a schedule, but anyway, so true. So, what is fear, firstly? What is fear? Come on, we're all good at it.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah, but what is it to you?
Fear of things that we borrow from someone else, I believe, when they don't belong. It's such a great that's what you do.
Yep. Do you think like we take it on from other people?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you think we create our own?
We do, but it's I don't believe we need it.
Yeah.
I believe if you get rid of fear, we can actually do anything.
Yeah. 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 I like that. Would you say what fear, like, you know, when people like to use those little acronyms, fear or whatever, false evidence appearing real and all that?
I think it's a bit of judgment that we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
Or we have a judgment on ourselves to
Yeah.
be ourselves, or
Yeah.
so that's where the fear sort of comes from.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
probably creating a difference between what others want out of you and how you try to meet that and, you know, suppress what you actually feel.
Yes. Yeah.
So like if someone wants you to behave in a particular way,
Yep.
but you don't want to, you still do it because of the fear.
Yes. Yep. Like you lose, because that's perfect. Yeah. Because you lose yourself from wanting to fit into a certain society. Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things that I did over my 30 years was pretend to fit in, be someone that I wasn't. Because I didn't know how to express myself, you know, through certain circumstances. I knew how to express myself with my fists and being a bully. You know, if you said to me, get up on public, you know, and Brad knows this as well, get up and talk in front of people. You know, I've been on stages in front of 30,000 people, and, you know, not that that means anything, but I remember, you know, even Chad can back me up here, there's been times when I've gone to get up on stage and I'm shaking and I wanted to vomit, and it was just like, because it come down to like, everyone can probably, it's a little bit of the same, a little bit different, that you know that you deserve there, you know that you've got a lot to give, but because we don't actually do the do and we don't step up into that power, we keep ourselves in a dispowering state. So we don't actually, you know, get up and do it. It doesn't feel great, but you know, we hold ourselves back and so on and so forth. Does everyone know my story firstly? Do you want me to tell you my story, where I've come from? Yeah, is that cool? And you'll notice that Maddie would have told you everything happens for a reason, and I'm going to be telling you part of, you know, I'm going to be telling you things that I'm going to be jumping around on purpose, and it's a whole thing to do, just occupy, because I can tell when people, you know, occupy their conscious mind and start to get the teachings into, you know, into your conscious mind. Is that cool? Yeah? So if some things would be like, what's he talking about, and everything happens for a reason. I'm not losing my mind, I haven't had too much caffeine or anything. So my story, so everyone have a bit of an understanding that I'm originally from Melbourne, so put your hand up from Melbourne. A lot of people, put your hand up from somewhere else. I've got good Queensland. Sydney. Are you from Sydney? So you've come from Sydney. Oh, for some reason where Elena's from.
No, I'm from Sydney.
Oh. And obviously Adelaide and Joy. Yeah. So yeah, awesome that, you know, people have come in for, you know, flown over. But yes, I was originally, and I'll share something quite intimate with everybody. It's very hard for me to be back in Melbourne because of my past and a lot of anchors. Like I can tell you probably almost every square inch around Melbourne that what I've been involved in, something which hasn't been, you know, you don't really want to tell too many people about. So without getting emotional, you know, me and Brad grew up in the northern suburbs, and you know, just so I don't know, people know, like obviously me and Brad, there's Rayul and his beautiful wife, who's one of my first clients, Ryan, and you know, through the journey. So there's, you know, like I said, there's a few strangers. I'm not going to get to, but the reason why I'm telling you my story, it's if I can do what I'm doing now. And help people, then I really want to say, then you guys, I'm here and you guys are up here, and I'm not, you know, trying to feed significance or anything like that. But I was an athlete. I played for Collingwood Reserve, so I played high-level football. I played basketball in the States. In basketball, you know, me and Brad played a lot of basketball together. And I always knew I wanted to be. I didn't want to be normal, and whatever that is. I don't want to sound rude or anything, but you know, I don't. When I say the riffraff, that could be quite judgmental. But you know what I mean. I just didn't want to fit in. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something just above just existing. So that's how I express myself. I didn't think, you know, when I say think, because in thinking and feeling, it's different. That I had a lot to give back to the world, and so you know, I couldn't write. I could hardly type, and I didn't. It wasn't really that I couldn't. I just didn't apply myself. As you know, you get a bit older. You know, obviously, you go through puberty, chase girls. You're partying, but I've always been able to have my significance because we always want to fit in. You know, certain circumstances throughout the world, and I was able to fit in through my sport. Then through that time, you know, I don't know if Melbourne looks all nice, but there's an underworld in Melbourne, and I got caught up in the party scene, in the drug scene, and when I say drug scene, it was more of a party scene. It wasn't like I wasn't, you know, like a junkie. It was just every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're with the riff. Like there's people that very influential people that you go out in the party scene. And that was from Friday. I couldn't remember until Monday. Do you know what I mean? You could, but it was just, you know, it was like that. And it was fun. I wouldn't regret any of it. You know, it wasn't the trouble. The rest of it, it was quite, you know, it was fun. It was like a weekend for 2 years. Yeah. Through that process, you know, you sort of lose a bit of you lose grasp onto reality. You know, you're hanging around with a lot of rich and famous people. And you know, you're not really worried about what am I going to be doing down the track. It was just more that I wanted to chase the buzz, girls, and the significance. So that was okay. And as Brad's been there, you know, re and write a party a little bit. And you have to go, hold on a second, I better do something with my life. So through that process, you know, I had a couple of little jobs here. You know, I worked at a soup place and the rest of it, and you know, it wasn't really. It didn't fill me at all. And you know, when people say stand here, go to, you know, you can go to lunch at this time, you can go to the toilet, you can't, you know, do you know what I mean? It was like a prison, and that people call that a job. And I don't want to be rude to anyone about who's got a job. It's not that at all. This is just my model of the world, and you'll understand what that means. So, cut a long story short, through the process of just existing through my, you know, my career. I was seeing my first fiance for about 9 years, and through that, you know, like getting up doing the same mundane thing, going to an environment which didn't serve me, getting someone giving me money to tell me how much I was worth, that did a lot to me, because especially if I was out around Melbourne, you know, you felt like a king. You're around, you know, the rich and famous, you're around this one, and I thought I was a, you know, a bit of a, you know, as they say, top shit or top cat. And then you go back to work, and I felt this big, you know, do this, do that, and I was basically bullied through my career. And I'm thinking, like, hold on a minute, like, you don't understand. And I was like, I had this ego, like, on the weekends, you felt important, and then when I moved back to my environment, I felt like I was just nobody. You know, clean this, pick this up, and I had this big internal battle. And you know, as they call it, it was anxiety, so-called depression, and I just lost my identity. And that's what you were saying, when you're fitting into a different perspective, you lose your identity, and that's the whole reason I'll explain why this, you know, these 2 days are called the social identity experience. So through that, I thought that was the norm. I thought that, you know, you go to work, you feel like shit, you can't wait till you get home, and you know, and then you come home, and you're just like, and you're that drained from the day, drag your ass to the gym, maybe go to the gym and do whatever, then you know, then you can't wait for the weekend, you just want to wipe yourself out. You know, Sunday comes, you've got the worst hangover, I have to get back to work again. So I did that for a long time, and you know, through that process, I was seeing my first fiance, and through that, I started sort of getting myself together, started believing in myself a little bit, and you know, I really started concentrating on what I want. Started to believe. So I got a trade. So I was a sparky. That means electrician, if anyone doesn't know. And I was a bodyguard at the Crown Casino. And that was okay. You know, it was paid the bills. It was decent money. Lived in Richmond. And through that process, without getting into too much detail, I always knew there was something bigger and better, and I was always striving to, you know, live a life that you could share something with people. And going to a job, telling what to wear, what to dress, when to get up, the rest of it, I felt like I was in a paid prison. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, you know, like I'm not saying that with a job, your JOB, whatever, I don't want to be judgmental, but I'm just giving you from my experience. You know, I only teach from my experience. So cut a long story short, my relationship started to fail because I wanted to go one way, she wanted to go another. And I didn't know what I knew now about polarity energy, in which we're going to talk about that. Like a man, you know, has obviously both masculine and feminine, and a woman has masculine and feminine, but you need a balance, and each person needs a good balance. So through that process, she would say, well, you're this, and I got the short straw, you're no good, and I started to believe it. And I started to feel sorry for myself, and I started to sort of sit down and, you know, not go to work, lock myself in my room, and just, you know, she's right, I'm a loser, I'm this, I'm that, and that didn't go down too well, and people call that depression. You know, we focus about one negative and then another, and before we know it, we want to do stupid things to ourselves. You know, and then the doctor says, why don't you take a tablet that's going to make it even worse, and all that fun stuff that most people do. So through that process, we broke up. I lost $850,000 through property, bikes, jet skis, all the boy things. And in Australia, I mean, you know, you live with someone for 30 seconds, they take half your fortune. So, you know, I'm sure some people have, yeah. But so as that happened, from living in Richmond, you know, having all the nice things, driving a bike, having a nice car, moving back to my parents' place in their back room, where for a man, for anybody, it's a big kick in the balls. Yeah, it's a massive ego kick. From having money, a bit of significance, and probably a take on life, to just basically getting pulled from under you. I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? You know that song, What the Fuck, we're on Fatboy Slim. We'll put that on later. So it's a good one. And so anyway, cut a long story short, I didn't know what I knew now, and you know, Brad was there for part of it. Remember, you know, I'd be there and I'll just be completely rendered retarded. And why I said that, because I would just focus on the negative. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's maybe my set of friends, but when you're down, and this is why I created what I created, no one's there to fucking help you. Your mates go, but when you got the cars and you're going good, hey, you know, let's go and catch up with, because my nickname's Bun, that's my last name, let's go and catch up with Lee. But when shit hits the fan, or when that, it's like a ghost town. You're like, where the fuck's everyone gone? Like, everyone leaves you. If it wasn't for my family, you know, and that's why that was one of the big motivations why I created Team Beast Mode in the first place, because everyone just leaves. And it's just like, fuck, who's there to help? Like, you know, like people say they want to help. You go and see a doctor, it's like that lolly machine. They just want to feed you tablets, and that didn't help. So, cut a long story short, I went into so-called, I had manic depression. They gave me schizophrenia tablets. That made me even worse. Cymbalta, the tablets were. And that was the worst thing they could have ever done, because when I thought of a negative thought, it would just go crazy. It got me aggressive, violent. You know how many times I've had, like, I'm talking 8 cop cars and the house is full of police. You know, and I don't want to scare you with this story, because I'm not like that at all. But it is, like, you know, to a point when I wanted to grab the gun off the policeman. I used to do stupid things because I was in that so much pain. And I think about it and I go, did that fucking happen? Like, I think about it now and it actually makes me feel sick because I'm so far from that. So through that process, you know, it just got worse. You know, my mum and dad had grey hair, but they went fucking white, and, you know, just stressing them out, and it wasn't good. Like, I completely lost my way from being this person that was well known, party boy, fun person around Melbourne, to this fucking nutbag. And yeah, it's just, it doesn't feel real anymore, but it does. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can take yourself there. So anyway, I'll get myself out of that. Through that process, I locked myself in my room for about 6 months. Put on a lot of weight, just eating and the rest of it. And you know, and even you see people. You know, I remember, you know, Brad's got, you know, beautiful children. You see people growing up and they're having families, and oh, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So you had to do something different. I'm either going to end up in a box or I'm going to end up, hurting someone else. So I had to make a decision. And through that decision, I dragged myself back to work. Or before that, I was going to leave this out, but before that, I attempted to take my life 3 times. So one was with tablets, one was smash my dad's car, and the other time I can't even remember what happened, but it was 3 times. And that was just because, when people say, and this is why I'm so, when we talk about a lie, because I could have got myself out of it at any time, but it was negative, 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 negative. If I just simply, what I'm going to teach you is just change my state, instead of sitting there for fucking 6 months, eating, watching TV, and just sitting there putting on weight, and then the movie would finish, I'll get anxiety, like, it's finished, what do I do now? I'll put another movie on. And that's how retarded it was, like, sorry if the people don't like that word, but it doesn't, I'm using words quite, loosely, but I didn't know what was next, and that's why what I do I'm so passionate about, because I was so good at fucking my life up when I could have just completely, if some of the stuff that I know now, get myself out of that, change my physiology, change my focus and my language, and it was hammer time and was ready to get back on the path. But what happened was, I didn't have anyone to say, stop focusing on the shit and start focusing on where you need to be and want to go. Like, shake yourself up, or do the morning routines, which I'm going to teach you how to do them. Get yourself empowered, get yourself uncomfortable, or have someone, like a Maddie, like any one of the other boys, slap you in the face, say, hey, that's enough. Stop being a little girl, and time to man up. So through this, I can see my parents and I.
Can I ask what's the girls' version of that? You said be a girl and man up. What's the girls' version of that?
Stop being a little boy. I don't know. No, but for men, it's like, you can be feminine, and I was like, sorry ladies if I don't want to be rude, but I was being a little bitch, yeah? And here I am, this big, I was just in my feminine, like, that's not attractive to any woman. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, I was a no-hoper. Do you think that I was just going around like this, and I was aggressive, and I was crying, feeling sorry for myself. My parents probably wanted to disown me, and they, they're beautiful people. I'm blessed to have parents like that. But and this is the truth about this stuff, guys. And the reason why I'm telling you this, some people have there's not many people that have been as low as me. And if you guys are here, can learn any from this, because the reason why I'm telling you this is how I've bounced back and how I've been able to, live a life and save lives and help people. So I just want to let you know about it. I don't want you to feel sorry for me or to pity me or the rest of it, but you can say, fuck, you know what, I felt a little bit like that. So that's why I'm telling you the story. Is that all cool, yeah? So I don't want you to go, oh, poor Lee and the rest of it. So as this happened, we can probably change it up because this music's making me want to cry. And I said, I'm not going to cry. Look, I don't care. Let's get emotional. There's no dishonor in that. But when we come to breaking point, and this is why what you guys are going to learn about, being here these 2 days. 2 days is going to be, you're going to get massive change, but you need to understand it, not coming from a place of judgment, not coming from a place of, I've done this before, what's going on, all the rest of it. We want to, as obviously you get the energy high, and we're going to start rocking that out. So I didn't know all this stuff, yeah? I didn't know what I had to do. I didn't know about, focusing on this. I didn't know about getting into state, and I didn't know about how to shift my focus. So I dragged myself back to work, and I met a person, Jamie McIntyre. Has anyone heard of Jamie McIntyre in Melbourne? Not really. He looks after. He brought Arnold over, and you've probably seen a picture of me with Arnold. I got to bodyguard him, and through this process, these people I seen, they were happy. I thought he was a drug dealer because he always had chicks with him. He looked good. He had money, and he was good looking good. He smelled good. I'm like, bro, you must be a drug dealer. From the movies, look like Scarface, but an Australian version. And I said to them, what do you guys do? And they go, oh, we're into self-development. We're into NLP. And I said, NLP? I go, what's that? And I go, sounds like some cult. And he goes, no, it's about mindset and, obviously being able to shift yourself, use the advancement of the mind to achieve a desired outcome. And I said to him, fuck, I just need something so I just can get control of my emotions. And 1 minute I'm good, next minute, I just want to, I'm all over the place. And he said, because you know, he was telling me about the mind, and I go, what's the mind? Just this grey thing in my head? You know, I didn't know what it meant. Isn't that a brain? That's what it was. Isn't it called a brain? What's the mind? And I'm being serious, this is what I said to him. And he said, well, what are you going through? And I told him, you know, like he goes, so tell me about your life. And I told him that, you know, he goes, have you been successful in things? What are you good at? And I said, nothing. You know, most people say, go, what are you good at? Nothing. You know, what do you want in your life? What's happening? We need to ask someone to focus on the problem. They give you an encyclopedia. But if you tell someone about where they want to go, geez, I don't know. But you really do, but it's that conditioning to say, like, we've all got the answers. Like, you guys have got all the answers. I'm just going to shake them out of you these 2 days, yeah? So, again, let's fast forward. So I started to be around the right people, environment, very important. And it didn't matter that these people were successful. They were successful in a way that they cared about others. You know, they were successful because they were happy. They were successful that they were on the right mind, you know, on the right mind understanding of what it took to change their lives. Yes, they look good, you know, they had that balance in life, and that's probably the biggest thing for me in life. What I think success is balance, yeah? Because when I was training hard, I was a lot bigger than I am now and looked good, and I was stacking shelves at Kmart. You know, I had $2 in my bank account, couldn't even speak to a girl, couldn't even let alone write my name. That's not really successful. I call that a show bag. You know, there's a lot of them around Melbourne. But what about if you have, that's quite judgmental, but anyway. So I think about success through, and this is through my journey and how I discovered that, was that these people were very real, and I like to lead being real, and tell people what they need to know and how to get there, and not let's worry about, oh, but you hurt my feelings. These feelings are these, you know what, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can respect people, but these people would tell me, and now my coaches, and all my coaches I work with, I've got about 7 different ones, they tell me what I need to know, because that gets me to the result. This ego little thing that we talk about, oh, you hurt my feelings, but hold on a second, is that getting you to where you go? And I always say to people, let's get you the result. If we become friends, as you know, then that's a bonus, yeah? As everyone, like the boys that have been to the retreats, they know. So that's cool, yeah? We all want to get a result over these 2 days. Cool? And I'm not going to say I will be polite, because there are more women and they look like men in here. I know you can punch, so and Natasha's, I called Natasha, didn't I? Yeah, Natalie. Someone said Natasha, that's why from this morning I said, who's here? And they gave me Natasha. I go, there's no Natasha here. So, through being around the right people and understanding, I started to, wanted to, could we just, baby, please? I started to educate myself. And the education was a lot of the neurolinguistics programming in NLP. So, you guys, does anyone know what that is?